Okay, so today we are going to talk about compound interest and compounded continuously interest. So there are two different equations that you're going to need to know, formulas. And so compound interest is A, and I'm going to explain this in a minute. A equals P times 1, again, that's the 100%, R over N times NT. So you're going to need to know that. This is compound interest, and then compounded continuously here, interest, is A equals P times E to the power of RT. And then this is E. Don't forget what that means. That is your continuously compound, because remember E is 2.718 and it keeps going, right? So this is continuously compounded interest. And so we're going to talk about each one of these individually. So A is your amount on both of these after the interest has already been compounded, right? So it's like your total, at the end, after so many years, this is what you would get. So on both of those, A. And then P for both of them is principal. And that's your initial pay principal or initial deposit is what you could see them say is your initial amount. So that's what you put in, right, your initial deposit. Your 1 for the compound, remember this means your 100%, and remember all percents are changed to a decimal, so 100% is 1. Your R for both of them is your rate, and I'm actually going to erase. Can I erase that? Can I move this down? We'll move it down. Move it over here. Okay. Your rate, and your rate is actually in percent, but remember you're going to always change it to a decimal. And when you change it to a decimal, remember you're going to put that rate no matter what it is, even if it's a percent, as a decimal. So if it was 2.3%, you would put it over 100 if you forget what to do with your decimals there. And you would get 0.023. And that's what you would use in your R for both of these, okay? So you would have to change that percent no matter what to a decimal for both of those. That's the rate. Then N up here and here, they're going to be the same number. And N is the number of times the rate is compounded within a year. So if it is daily, if it's compounded daily, it's 365. If it's compounded monthly, that number is 12, because 12 months in a year, right? So number of times it's compounded in a year. So within a year, so 365 days in a year. Monthly is 12. Quarterly, you could see quarterly, and there's 4 quarters in a year. Or it could say yearly. And again, then that would just be 1, okay? Then T is your total number of years that you're going to compound this. So in 10 years or 15 years or 5 years or whatever. And that's for both of those. And then the E, we've talked about that. That's that natural base E. So that's making it continuously compound, because that number just keeps, going and going. So we're going to use both of these in these problems today. Okay, so the first problem that we're going to do, okay, so this problem, they're saying, okay, given the information, they want to know us to find, I'll do a highlight. They want us to find the amount in the account after it's been compounded interest for 5 years and the principal is $12.50. So the first one is if I gave you the rate equals 2.25% and it's compounded quarterly. We're going to do compounded quarterly. So what you would do is you would first decide which one you're using. It's saying compound interest. It's not saying anything about a continuous interest. So we know then we're going to use A equals your principal 1 plus your rate over your number of times it's going to be compounded and to the power of nt. And then remember, it's 100%. Obviously, that's what that 1 means, okay? So they want us to find A. They said our principal was $12.50, so we're going to plug that in. We have 1 plus R. Our rate is 2.25%, but I need to change it to a decimal, right? We can't use this percent, so you change that decimal and it becomes 0.0225. 0.225, sorry, let's put an extra 0 in there. 225 over the number of times. Well, they're saying this is my T, okay? That's after, so remember T is after, and they want to know the number of times. It's saying it's compounded quarterly. Number of times it's compounded within a year. Well, quarterly means 4. So then we have 4 times 5. So notice these two will be the same. And then this is the T, the total after, like what is it after it's been compounded quarterly. And then when you do this, you always want to do parentheses first. So I would recommend like putting into your calculator this part right here and then adding the 1. And so you would get around 1.005625. Try to go all the way out as much as possible. Don't round to $1 or 1, right? It wouldn't be $1, sorry. But to 1, don't round to that. Go all the way out as far as possible. And then this would be to the power of 20. Then remember, you PEMDAS again. So I have to do my base to the power of 20. Okay, and so then when I take my amount equals $12.50 and I do my base to the power of 20, I get 1.118719553. Notice I go all the way out, so my calculator stops. And then I'm going to multiply that by the $12.50. And I get 1398.399442. However, I'm talking about money, so we're going to round that to the nearest cent now. And so after 5 years, my total amount here is $1,398.40. And so we would round then that to the nearest cent. So go all the way out on all of these problems. Okay, so the next problem that we have is your parents will need $25,000 in 10 years. So they're going to need $25,000 in 10 years to pay for your brother's college tuition. They invest in an account with an interest rate of 9.8% that compounds continuously. So notice I'm underlining important information. How much should your parents invest today? That's my question, in order to have the available tuition in 10 years. So you have to stop and ask yourself first, which one am I using? Well, it's saying compound continuously. So that is A equals my principal times the natural base E of RT. Then you have to ask yourself, what information did they give us? Well, they need $25,000. So that is actually my amount, right? And then P, they say, how much will they invest today? Well, that's P. So that's going to be my variable that I'm going to solve for. How much, when you are reading story type problems, you have to ask yourself, what is the question? The question here is then what I'm going to be solving for. Okay, so P, that is P, that's what I'm going to solve for. And then we have E, And then we wanted to look at our rate. Well, where's our rate? Our rate is right here, 9.8. So remember, we can't use 9.8 because it's a percent. So we put it over 100. And so when we do that, we get 0.098. So this is 0.098. Then we want to know the time. Well, the time is 10 years. So we're going to put 10 there. So we're going to do our exponents first. So we have our 25,000, and we're going to do P times e to the power of 0.98. Okay, you have to understand how to get variables isolated here. This is multiplying. I want to get P isolated. That's what I'm trying to solve for. So P times e, so the inverse of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by E.98. And when you're doing that, then remember anything divided by itself cancels out. I'll try to use a different color. So we end up with P equals 25,000 over E to the power of 0.98. So when you put that into your calculator, you're going to put 25,000 divided by, and you're going to hit second, and then you're going to see ln. It's right by the 4 because you'll see e to the power of x, right? So you're going to hit the second to turn the blue on, and then you're going to put 0.98 there. And what you're going to find is the principal will be $9,382.78. Remember, you're rounding to the money, so you need that in cents. So in order to have $25,000 in 10 years, your parents will need to invest $9,382.78 into that account.